how to stop bad things from happening to you, and why bad things keep happening to you, and what to do about it. That is exactly what this Practical Week Challenge will address. Welcome to these Practical Week Challenges designed with the intention to help improve the quality of your life step by step in a simple to follow practice. Now, when we want to prevent bad things from happening again, we are actually tempted to fight the bad things. But for example, in a fight with your partner, does fighting the darkness in your partner ever has provided you light? I used to blame, condemn, criticize all the bad things that happened to me. But after many years of frustration that it only fueled the darkness even more, made me actually start behaving exactly the same and only exhausted me. I finally made a 180-degree U-turn. If fighting the darkness or the things that I don't want to keep happening to me only fuels it even more and exhausts me, then what would happen if I would take the exact opposite approach? What would happen if I take away all my energy out of it? What if I do everything I can not to support anything that moves me to an inhuman place instead? I'll give you an example. If I don't want any violence from happening around me, instead of fighting, judging or condemning or labeling the violence around me, because that will only fuel it more, I choose to not support anything that moves me towards violence. Or for example, if I don't want any control or coercion around me, instead of fighting it or protesting against it, because that will only fuel it more, I do not cooperate with any control or coercion, and I choose to not support anything that moves me to control or coercion of another in any way. Or if I do not want to stay a powerless, dependent, manipulable victim anymore, I choose to not cooperate with any kind of dependency anymore, and I learn to become independent. And if you want to know how I did it, click here, because you are going to love these breaking free videos. Or for example, if I do not want any loveless relationships from happening around me anymore, instead of fighting or labeling a person for being loveless, because that will only fuel it even more, I choose to not support anything that moves me towards loveless behavior. Or if I do not want to see any exploitation to see anymore in the world, then I choose to stop buying anything or store my money in facilities that have anything to do with exploitation. Or for example, if you do not want to implement this ridiculous thing, whatever that ridiculous thing is, that for example can control and harm people, then refuse that ridiculous thing at all costs and learn to become independent of, for example, the manipulation that makes you tempted to implement the ridiculous thing. After many years of studying psychology and philosophy, it always comes down to the same thing. What we see outside, what we do not like, is a multiplied reflection from what we haven't resolved within ourselves yet and are projecting outside. So if we want to change the darkness, the violence, the control, the coercion, the madness around us, we have to change our own darkness into light, which will be multiplied around us as a natural and logical consequence. Now, I understand that it may seem hard, confronting, or maybe even impossible at first, but I promise you that every step you change within, what you want to see changed outside, you are going to feel greater and more powerfully through yourself. In short, if you want to prevent bad things from happening around us, we have to learn to radiate what we do want to see reflected around us. So the practical challenge for this week is make a list of what you want to stop from happening in the world around you, and write down for each sentence how you are going to stop cooperating with that darkness completely and how you are going to transmit the light you do want to see happening instead. Then the challenge is to put one change each into practice every day for the next 7 days. May I ask you a question? Would you like to write in the comment box below what kind of things you would want to change and how you are going to be the change to inspire others to do the same? I am looking forward to seeing your creative ideas that will be reflected by more and more people around us. Please like and share this week challenge to help light up the world a little more together. Click here to subscribe and hit that notification bell to not miss any future practical week challenges. I will see you next Friday for the upcoming week challenge.